Hello everybody. This video is about Gesture VR. It is a sketching app. I'm on the Quest 3 and it's not using the tips that come on the Quest 3. It will be using kind of like in Vermilion. So let's get started, huh? Okay. Now I went through it a little bit just to see what it looked like and how to operate stuff. But beyond that, I haven't done too much. Um, Here we have learned the basics of gesture, VR, and figure drawing. So let's go ahead and just poke that with the pen. And here you can see you can draw on the page by touching it or by hovering near the page and pulling the trigger. So yeah, you can actually draw in the air. And if you press your A button, then it comes with this ball. You can control the size of the ball by using your thumbstick, pulling it forward or back, and pull the trigger, and that's your eraser. So obviously you see why you might want a smaller one. And then press A button again, and it's back to your pen. And you don't have to hold it this way. But I just wanted to show you, here we go, learn, and then you go back to the menu. Here is Gesture VR tutorials and the basic navigation. And then beyond that, there's also drawing and anatomy tutorials, which is pretty darn cool. And video volume. I assume that they're scripted, so that's nice. Let's go back to the menu. I have gone into settings and turned down the sound of the music. Okay, so here you can have poses. Here's 200 models that you can set timers and lights. Drop with three other people in a multiplayer freeform session. And even beyond that, on the Quest 3, you can play this in pass-through. So let's look at the settings. Poke it with your pen or your sketch pencil. Okay, so there's something here for left-handedness. You can censor nudity, which is right now toggled on. I'm not bothered by nudity, so it doesn't bother me if it's on or off. I'm going to turn this music down. Sound effects volume, I just left that where it is. Voice volume, I assume that's from other people in the room if you have it. Easel opacity, you can turn that up or down. I'm okay with how this is, but what I do want to do is change the setting. So this is what it is right now. This is it's a decent option for me, and if you had a model, it'd be right there. And here's another lighting. I kind of like this one, so we're going to keep this one. Okay, we're going to go back to drawing mode. There we go. And if you want a thicker pen, right? It's like charcoals almost. Okay, and let's just get rid of that. That's not really what I want to keep. Okay, and go back to pen again. Press the A button, and let's make that a much thinner pencil, right? We don't want a thick marker, at least I don't for sketching. So my left hand I'm not going to need at all, but I do want to change, well, I mean, I need it for this menu, but otherwise no. So I'm going to tap that box. Now I'm going to hold the grip button, and I'm going to hold it until I get the pen where I want it. I want it to be in a more natural writing position. So I'm still holding the grip button, not the trigger. And when I let go, it sets it where that is. So I kind of want to have it centered right there so that the pen is through the trigger, because that's where my finger is naturally. And when you want to get dark lines from your instrument, then you pull the trigger to make darker lines. So let's just show you here. So I'm not using the trigger right now, and it's just a light sketch, right? I use the trigger, it becomes more like an ink drawing. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm not giving a drawing lesson here. I haven't drawn in quite some time. And probably haven't drawn well in even longer. So, but I was always pencil or charcoals when I did draw. So I'm just going to depress the trigger a little bit. I do want some darkness right here. There we go. Not the best eye in the world, but neither are mine, you know? A little shading. Come up a little with this line. When I was a kid, I was always fascinated with drawing eyes. Maybe it's because I had eye trouble? I don't know. But there's not an undo function here. There's that eraser, but I mean, if there might be an undo, I didn't really look through the guide. I just pulled up an easel and went for it. Get some highlight lines in here. All right, not my best eye. Like I said, not my best eye. And that actually looks more like looks like the opposite eye I was going for because of my angles. Like I said, it's been a while since I've drawn. But you can see the particulars of what we got going on. Let's see. Too low. I always just used typing paper and a regular lead pencil and eraser. I'm just doing shades here to get a basic outline for myself. I don't like that line. I'd rather just kind of leave that inferred. All right. Yep. A lot easier to get rid of stuff than it used to be. I'll say that much. Boy, she's got a big head, doesn't she? But anyway, you get the basic idea, right? New frame. There we go. And for anybody who's wanting to know, are there colors? I don't know if this is. I'm gonna guess that this is a different color. I don't know if it's like different charcoals or not. That's what I thought these were originally, was charcoals. But maybe not. That's not the best choice for this, but here we are. I'm gonna guess that that's. Oh, here we go. Color wheel. Here. Yeah, I definitely won't be keeping this. But not my best work. But there are color changes, so that's pretty cool, actually. And you just tap one of your basic colors. So that came from down here. So this is pretty neat. That is pretty cool. All right, done. So you're done with that palette, and there you go. Nice. So if you don't want to bother with pressing a button to get your eraser, you can tap the. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, I guess that is set. Yeah, appears to be. Okay, so there we go. Now we know. Anybody else see that spot? And gone. All right. Lazy brush intensity. I don't know what that is. Let's see. 5 is the highest lazy brush intensity can go. Let's see what that is. Oh, I'm still on the pink. Thought I was in black or blue. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the lazy brush intensity is. Maybe if I watch the tutorial, I'll find out. But for now, I'm going to put it back down to 0 because that's where it was. And that's it. That's all I'm prepared to show. Delete it, just like that. So don't delete something unless you really want to. So when you go back home, your brush is going to revert. And let's just see what I see. So okay. Neck. Back. Leg. I don't believe that's the best start to what we're doing here. So this is too far. That angle's not terrible, but it's a pretty short leg, isn't it? This leg's too long, that's what it is. Okay. Just shadows. I never did a lot of human anatomy. This model was strong though, I'll give her that. That's a bad calf. I was always better at shaping after the fact with my eraser. And the way I used to do it was hand smudging. So I would all about proportion. You know, I don't think it's awful for a first attempt without having drawn in ages. I mean, you can tell it's a person. It's not beautiful, but you can tell it's a person. She's not proportioned right. She's a bit chunkier. There's my timer. Now, what that timer tells me, I'm not sure. Unless it's trying to tell me you completed your model. So, perhaps it did. Okay. I assume if I had the nudity sensor off that she would have had more features. I'll put it that way. Okay. So that was model, set timers and lights. 1 hour of poses with increasing durations. I think this is still my favorite. And I like that lighting. So yeah. That is some terrible handwriting. But the sentiment is real. Thank you very much for watching. From me to you. Bye bye.